Hello, and thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Bite-Sized Cybercrime, the podcast where we discuss cybercrimes and all things cybersecurity in the news. This week we are going to be discussing an ongoing campaign of hijacking LinkedIn accounts, and even in some cases extorting the victims into paying a ransom to get the account back. I posted a little warning about this on my own LinkedIn last week, but the attack seems to show no signs of slowing down. Many users have complained about being locked out of their accounts for over 2 weeks, and not being let back in by support even after providing government ID. The LinkedIn support team is likely being swamped by requests, which is slowing down response time, though no official announcement has been made as of the date of this recording, which is August 19th, 2023. It's also currently unknown which group or groups are responsible for the attacks yet, or which methods they're even using, although we do have a pretty solid theory. Instead of phishing campaigns, which would normally result in this type of account hijacking, it's suspected that it's actually just mass password attacks, such as dictionary attacks, being used against LinkedIn users. A dictionary attack is a type of password attack that uses a long list of words or passwords leaked from data breaches and tests them against the account. By the way, this is why it's important not to reuse your passwords for multiple websites. If your LinkedIn account is compromised, people may try that same password against your Gmail account. And if it's the same, well, now they can get into basically everything. If your account is protected by two-factor authentication, it will be temporarily locked out instead of taken over. But the accounts that have been taken over have had Russian emails added to them, the password changed, and ironically, some have even had two-factor authentication enabled for the hacker, which, of course, is using a security measure against a typical account user to make it even harder to get the account back. In some cases observed by CyberInt, which is a cyber threat intelligence company, the hackers demanded a small ransom to give the accounts back, and some outright deleted the accounts anyways. But there is a third, much more nefarious use for them, which brings us to why are LinkedIn accounts specifically being hijacked? LinkedIn is a website for professional networking and job hunting. Compromised accounts can be used to make fake job postings or message existing connections with phishing messages to then hijack their accounts. Fake job postings not only waste your time and are quite annoying, but can result in identity theft. If a job asks for something like your social security number and you hand it over, but it's actually a group of hackers, you could possibly have your bank account hijacked as well, you could have different credit cards made in your name. All sorts of not great stuff can happen from having your identity stolen. But why do we need to hijack accounts for this to be an effective scam? Can't you just create a new LinkedIn account? Yeah, you can, but it may not be as believable as an existing account. LinkedIn has multiple types of verification steps, and it even verifies your work email if you need to access content posted by your work. My LinkedIn account is verified, and it is connected to my official work email. If someone were to hijack my LinkedIn account, they could very convincingly pose as myself, since my work email is verified on that account. They could also very easily find and message my colleagues. Or in my case, since I'm a content creator and post much of my content to LinkedIn, they could post content that appears to be mine, but is actually malicious. LinkedIn accounts that are new, unverified, and can't really access company resources are immediately suspicious. That's why it's become a lot more lucrative to simply hijack the accounts rather than create new ones and go through all this effort to make them seem legitimate. So how can you avoid your LinkedIn account being hijacked? Since this is likely coming from password attacks and not phishing emails, check your password on a website called haveibeenpwned.com to see if it has shown up in any data breaches. If it has, even if it's just one, you should change it because attackers may use it in their attacks. You should also enable two-factor authentication or two-step verification, so that even if your password is compromised, the hacker will need a two-factor authentication code to still get into your account. This is a lot harder since these one-time codes cannot be guessed as easily, and they will change every single time you need to enter it. Therefore, they can't be as easily brute-forced. If your account has already been hijacked, you may be out of luck as LinkedIn appears very slow to respond to inquiries at the moment. Hopefully this will change over time as they get through requests, but it may be a while. Alternatively, if you suspect an account is compromised, you can report it as compromised on LinkedIn's website. You can do this by going to the member's profile, clicking More, Report or Block, Report Content on Profile, Profile Information, selecting Suspicious, Spam, or Fake in the Why Are You Reporting This Profile pop-up, and then selecting that it was a hacked account. Thank you to HelpNet Security, Tripwire, Cyber News, and Bleeping Computer for information on these recent compromises. We don't know everything at the moment, but hopefully we will learn more with time and be able to recover some of the hijacked accounts. Most of all, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Bite Size Cybercrime, and until next time, change your password and stay secure.